It's still day 2 of Gen Con, and I am back over at the Iello booth. I spoke with Keith yesterday, and today I'm going to talk to Iello's brand new brand ambassador, Alison Haislip.
Hi.
How's it going?
It's good.
We got to kind of chat with you a little bit last night. We got
I know.
to party a little at the
know.
Iello party.
I know. Who knew Gen Con was so fun?
I did.
You did. Because this is my first.
You could have asked. I
Yeah,
said,
I know.
Hey, it's an awesome show.
Right.
So let's chat a little bit. I know a lot of our viewers are going to know you from any number of things. I first became aware of your career back on Attack of the Show.
Oh, nice.
This just shows how
G4.
old I am. And I think you were like
me.
11. You
Sure.
were like 11 years old.
Yes, I was 11.
But people know you from The Voice and Battlebots and Con Man, and you've got a podcast on the Nerdist Network. It is, if I remember correctly, it is the Half Hour Happy Hour?
Correct.
I'm not real good on numbers in that, but usually an hour is like an hour. How's it?
Well, it's a half hour because it's about 30 minutes, but we call it the happy hour because we have a drink while we do it. So it's a half hour happy hour.
And those of us, like myself, who have been in far too many bars to name, happy hour usually lasts longer than 60 minutes anyway.
Yes, exactly.
So,
normally it's like 2 to 3 hours these days.
So I'm sure a lot of folks are wondering, well, what is Alison doing with Iello Games?
Yeah.
Because they would associate you more, a lot of social media, video gaming from, of course, back in the G4 days.
Right.
But you like a lot of games, and I think you've recently been indoctrinated into our tabletop gaming world.
I know. Well, officially, yes. Absolutely. It's funny. A lot of people have been like, what are you doing here? You're a video gamer. And I'm like, oh, well, yeah, I guess publicly I've always just been known as a video gamer, but in my own personal life, I've always played any kind of game. Like, I just like gaming in general. I love puzzles. I will sit down and do an actual 1,000-piece puzzle over the course of a week or something like that. I just like anything that has to do with entertaining and puzzling. Oh, it's the Gen Con voice of God.
Oh, well, yeah, and it's every interview.
I know, of course.
Because he's actually in a booth.
That's why I was wondering where this guy hides. Yeah.
And he watches to make sure, like, when I'm doing an interview or anybody else is doing an interview.
Anyway, yes, I've always played games in whatever shape or form they have come in. But it really wasn't until Will Wheaton asked me to be a part of Tabletop on season 1 that I understood where tabletop gaming had gone, like where board games have gone.
Right, sure.
In my head they were always just like Monopoly and
Risk,
or
Game of Life,
Taboo and Cranium and like the party games and those sort of things. And then like being friends with Will just opened my eyes up to like this whole other world of all of these games that have these incredible storylines and these amazing characters and this like really, really intrinsic gameplay, That was the thing that I was like, oh man, it's so much more than just let me roll the dice and move my piece this many spots and see what happens.
Roll and move and
yeah.
Oh, wow, I had another kid, sweet, put him in the car.
So it's really been the last maybe 4-ish years that I've understood where tabletop gaming has gone. Yeah.
And I do have to point out 2 things I did see.
Yeah.
Because, companies have had brand ambassadors and things like that. And people are like, they don't have real cred. So we're at the Iello party last night.
Yes.
And one of the big releases here is Mountains of Madness.
Mountains of Madness. Oh my God, that game.
So Alison's playing, and I believe, because it's a co-op game.
Yeah.
And I believe you guys all won. So who do you think jumps up and starts high-fiving everybody? Yeah!
Was it me?
Yeah, that was you.
I'm like, that was me, right?
There was no alcohol there, so I mean that. Yes, you jumped up, you started high-fiving people. Now, I helped Elliot Miller, voiceofe.com, shoot his interview with it earlier.
Right.
And we came strolling up, and it was a little downtime for you. And what are you doing? You're sitting here playing some Iello card games.
Yeah, we were playing Welcome Back to the Dungeon, I think, when you showed up. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like, okay, so Alison really does play games. She's not sitting here going, I'm cashing a check and saying, I play this.
Well, that was,
Iello stuff.
I basically relegated to this little part of my booth for most of the day, which is great because it means like I get to sit here while all the media comes through. But obviously there's lulls in the day, and I'm like, well, if I'm sitting here, why not play a game? There's 50 of them right over there.
Yes. Yeah. And thousands more all around.
I know.
Here. Although you can't play those yet.
Not here. Not in front of this sign.
And yes, and they gave you a nice comfy chair.
I know. I've been really feeling really bad about all the interviews coming through, and they're in this little folding chair, and and I'm in like my throne.
You can't see it because they actually taped broken glass on the seat of this chair, and I'm sort of like,
yeah,
just
well,
so
you
we
know,
can see
you got to suffer for your
really
art.
Suffer art. So, something else I want to talk a little bit about, because now you actually have a special promo character in the King of New York, King of Tokyo series, Lisan.
I know. The fact that no one has ever called me that before in my life until this character came up is insane to me. Like, as soon as they were like, we're turning you into a giant ninja and naming her Lisan, I was like, oh my gosh, that's the most brilliant thing and the most obvious thing, you know?
Right.
Yeah, and she totally kicks ass.
She's got a couple of katanas in her hand. Although I have to admit, I think Uma Thurman called and she said she wants her outfit from
but
Kill
I'm
Bill
official
back.
yellow. I mean, look, I got my little...
I get it.
Yeah.
So what are your superpowers, your special powers?
I'm just a 50-foot tall ninja with katanas and I can chop down buildings. I don't need more superpowers than that. Yeah.
So what are some of the things you're looking forward to with your partnership, your relationship with Iello?
Well, playing more of their games. You know, that was the thing. When after I signed my deal with them, all of a sudden it was just like box after box after box of board games showed up at my front door.
I hate when that happens.
No, I didn't hate it, but I didn't realize how extensive their catalog was. And so I was like, oh, I had played some of the games prior to this thing, but not all of them. And I was like, I got some work to do.
Right.
So I started having regular Sunday game days at my place, and just inviting a group of friends over, and we would just be like, all right, let's open up that one today. And we'd rip it open and have fun popping out all the little cardboard pieces and things like that. And it was really cool because I didn't invite friends who were necessarily gamers. I just invited friends who I thought would like having some fun on a Sunday.
Right.
And a lot of them wouldn't have considered themselves gamers and until they play it.
Once again, a lot of these folks, when they think game, they think Monopoly.
Right.
And it's like, oh, I played Monopoly. It took 4 hours. Nobody won. I ate that.
Yeah.
And they don't realize all these fantastic games.
I know. And my group of friends that played King of Tokyo with me, you know, I've obviously been posting a lot of Lisan on my Instagram, and all my friends at home are like, you better bring me home one of those pieces because I want to play that.
Because I believe they're only available here at Gen Con.
Yes. I have a feeling she's been selling real well. So I have a feeling...
You've been selling real well?
Yeah. I have a feeling that she will probably be available at other conventions. I don't know if she'll ever actually be available online. So if you want to get her, you got to get...
convention exclusive.
Yeah, convention exclusive. Exactly.
So if you go to Essen in Germany, pick it up.
Yep. Highly possible.
So another question. What's your favorite Iello game? You played a bunch now.
Yes, I have. Well, prior to playing Mountains of Madness last night, I would say Sea of Clouds. Okay. I really dig that game. I think it's a great game that's easy to pick up and teach someone very quickly. Sure. And then you can play through a couple rounds in 20, 30 minutes, you know? And there's something about not tallying up your score until the end of the entire game that I sort of love, because you don't really know how you're doing. You might think you're doing really well.
And find out, wow, I'm in third.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like someone had that awesome secret card where their rums counted for triple or whatever, you know? Sure. So I really dig that game. But Mountains of Madness, when I was playing that last night, the game mechanics in Mountains of Madness, I'm like, this is one of the coolest things I've ever participated in.
Because it's not, a lot of people, it's a Lovecraftian game, so they're thinking, oh yeah, it's, you know, heavy and dark, and it's really not. It's time-based, and it's basically making the players, because they're basically losing their sanity as they continue.
But it's funny because you don't think that that's the point of the game. The point of the game is collecting enough
to get out
artifacts and not getting enough injuries and moving up the mountain.
Right.
That seems like the point, but then you realize what the game is really about is these madness cards you're given and how you can communicate with your teammates while dealing with your own madness.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because it'll tell you have to do a finger mustache.
And you can only talk to people. Yeah.
Right.
I had one last night that was peanut butter, and it meant I couldn't talk unless I kept my tongue stuck to the roof of my mouth, which is really hard to do.
And the funny thing is, you only have a very short period of time to get instructions or information to the other players.
Yeah.
So it's very cool. We'll review it. Don't worry.
We'll review it. Got my review. 2 thumbs up.
There you go.
Yeah.
One last question.
Yeah.
This is your first Gen Con.
It is.
And I've been asking all of my guests, my interview subjects, their favorite Gen Con memory. Well, this is the first time you've been here. You
I
haven't.
mean, and you can't top this.
Yeah, but that's cheating. That's cheating. That would be like top gaming memory in history. Everybody's like, wow, I've got a game card.
Yeah.
I've got a game card in the card in a game, actually.
Yeah.
And it's like,
yeah,
so
nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
What is something about this convention that's really jumped out at you? Because you've been to other conventions.
Right. You know what I thought was really cool about this convention was walking around the hotels that are attached to the convention hall and seeing that they specifically have tables set up in their lobbies for people to play games on. It literally has little signs that say reserved for gameplay,
sure,
you know?
Right.
And the fact that the community of Indianapolis would embrace this convention the way it obviously does, that to me is the coolest.
It's huge money for this city.
Yeah, but they really support it in not just in the convention hall, but outside as well. And that to me is awesome. And I've heard all these stories about, people coming home after dinner back to their hotel and there's a game about to start in the lobby and these strangers are like, do you want to join? And they're like, yeah. And it's that to me, the community that this is really
awesome
wonderful.
Community.
Yeah.
And Indianapolis loves these folks who come out because we're well behaved.
Yeah.
It's
That's another thing. It just feels calm.
We have this convention and, every night it's just crazy drunken.
Yeah, no, this just feels like a
madness.
nice, calm convention. And it's not Hollywood. Like, most of the conventions I go to, there's a pop side of it, with movies and TV and all that kind of stuff. And there's a Hollywood part to it. And this is just legitimately people who want to play games coming out and playing games and finding other people who want to play games.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts you'd like to share with the audience?
Make sure you get your exclusive. No, just keep playing games, everyone.
What's your percentage on that? You're like
no thanks.
You're like 50%?
No, I wish.
Like by 3. I know you only have one King of New York.
I know. No, it's awesome. Just keep playing games. I think it's important to never really grow old. Stay young at heart and keep playing games.
That's what I've done.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Alison, thank you so much for
taking
some time to chat.
Yeah, thanks.
Enjoy the show and welcome to the Iello family.
Yay!